So I feel pretty happy with the overall arrangement here, and I also just brought in kind of a credit here because I did not do this recipe. So this is from eatwell101.com. So just making sure I give credit to whoever did this original recipe. And I want to kind of bring in that juiciness of the photo. I want to have a little bit less of this empty space and really have that emotional impact. So I'm just going to select this photo, and I think I'm going to bring this in a little bit. So I'm going to double click and get my orange box, and it's going to zoom in just a little bit more to really get that nice juicy flavor going. And so now I'm ready to do the next couple of pages, but we're going to use Masterpages. We covered that in the beginner section, and we're going to be able to use that to make this process so much easier. We got to do, let's say we're doing 50 recipes. This would normally take us as designers a long time to hand do each spread, but we're going to create a couple of templates that's going to make life a lot easier for you just to drop in recipes and do this a lot quicker than if you didn't use Masterpages. So what we want to do now is we want to create one more spread, and that's the reverse of this. And then we'll be able to do our master pages and have two different master pages, one with the photo on the left and one with the photo on the right. So we're going to just duplicate this spread. So we're going to go over to Pages. We're going to highlight this spread, which is pages 4 and 5. I'm going to right click and do Duplicate Spread. It's going to pop in right down here. We're just going to drag this back up so it's right below. And we're just going to reverse the order. So I'm going to take page 7 and I'm going to bring it right over to the left side, and then they're going to reverse and switch. So now if we go to this page, we just need to do some finessing of some of the arrangements. So let me pull this photo over. So now it's flush with the spine or with the center. And I could probably bring this backwards in the layering system. And there we go, we already have our reverse version. So we have our photo on the right, photo on the left. Let's go ahead and replace a few of these photos to show you how easy this will be. I'm going to right click and do our fitting. And then I can double click and kind of make sure I have the right cropping for this. Perfect. Going to remove that little quote since that was for the first recipe. So now we can just switch out everything. Chocolate brownie recipe, and of course we can be more creative at another time, but you can see how quickly it is to reverse or change all that out. We could do this book very quickly now that we have a theme, and now that we have everything set up. We have our paragraph character style set up, we have a lot of these things done. So now it's going to be a very easy next 50 pages, however long the cookbook would be. So let me continue to make sure everything looks perfect. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to work on master pages. So we're going to go up to our master pages, which is going to be right here. We are going to create 2 master pages. So let's do the very first one. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight everything that's in this particular spread. We're going to copy it. So Command C, or you can go up to Edit and Copy. And we're going to go to our first master here, the spread. We're not going to do the single page master. We're going to do the master spread, a master, and we're going to do Command V or go up to Edit and Paste. And we're going to do a little bit of a special paste. So instead of just pasting, it's going to kind of paste, but it's not going to paste perfectly how I copied it in the same position. So instead of just doing Edit, Paste, we're going to do Edit, Paste in Place, and it's going to paste it in the same place that we copied it. So there it goes. Everything's lined up perfectly. So what Masterpages will do is it'll take everything here and it'll replicate it wherever you apply it. So that means text too. So let's say I were to make this a master. Let's go ahead and remove all the masters from this page. It automatically applied it. So let me just apply master to pages, and let's just make all that null, none. There we go. So if I were to go to page 8 and 9, I'm ready to post that particular master page. I can right click, apply master to pages, and I can select A, click OK. Voila, I'm already done with that spread. But here's the problem. When you have master pages, it will kind of stick with the text too. So we want to be able to change out the text. So what we're going to have to do is go back to our master pages, but we can leave anything that's going to remain and not need to be shifted around. So that's the quick tips can remain, all the bars, the lines. I'm also going to need to remove the photo. What I'm going to do in its place is I'm just going to put a box right here to kind of crop all of that. I'm not going to need this because that's not going to need to go on every page. So anything that needs to be on every page, even if the recipe changes. So all of this can remain. We don't have to set all this up over and over and over again. We have this master page saved. So now we can go back. It's going to automatically apply it. And so now what? How do I get the text and the photo in there? Well, that's something we're going to have to manually bring in. So we can have our little box and we can bring in a whole nother photo. So let's say we have the apple pie. Just bring that in, fitting, fill frame proportionately, and then we'll have to take all of this type up here, which is really easy because watch this. We can do what we did before, but just select our type. I'm just holding down Shift and selecting our type. And then we're going to go down here and do a paste in place. And voila, now all we have to do is switch it out. Just manually make sure it looks good, and we can replace everything. And looks like the tip didn't come over, and that's okay because we can copy and then paste in place. And just pretty much go to your Word document, copy and paste. And really, ingredients and preparation could really be on the master pages because that's not going to change on every page. So that's something we can keep in the master pages as well. So if I wanted to copy, go to my master, paste in place, then I'm not going to need it right here in my apple tart. So that's going to go on each page. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do every other. So this will be a photo on the left on the next one. So let's skip a spread and let's go down to 12 and 13. Right click and let's apply our master. Master A, click OK. And then we can just copy and paste just our text. And this is something, this is a pretty complex project, so I know there's a lot of steps to get this to go, but once you get it all set up, it makes the whole 100-page book a lot easier, 50-page, however long it'll be. So now I'm just going to copy my text, go down to this spread and paste in place. And we're already done with that one. We can even copy our photo and then drag that in. And replace the photo. And so you saw how quickly I got this set up. Now all I have to do is copy and paste. So I did that in what, about 30 seconds? So now let's do the other opposite side. So we're going to do this one more time for practice because I know that was a lot I just threw at you. So this is the opposite side. This is the reverse side. So we're going to create a master page for this. So I'm going to go ahead and copy all of this, Command C. And I'm going to create a new master because we have this A master, but now we need the reverse side. So let's create a new master. Let's go up to this drop down menu and do new master, and let's call it B. Make it a spread, and we're going to paste in place our elements. Now let's get rid of anything that needs to be switched out with the changing of the recipe. So that right there, we're done. So now we can go down to our spread, right click, apply master to pages, and now we're going to do the B master. Click OK. And now we're going to go up to our brownie recipe, select all, and we're going to have to just get the text for this one because it's the first one we've done. So I'm just going to remove all these elements that's already going to be on the master. Get a copy. Go down to here, paste in place. And just like that, that is ready to go. So now the remaining pages will be a lot easier. Let's continue to do a couple more. I'm going to add a few more pages. So let's do this one over again. Let's do this spread, right click, apply master to pages. Let's do the B master. This will be the A master. So there's our two different reverse spreads. So let's say we're going to copy this, go down to this, paste in place, boom, done. Copy, go down to this one, paste in place. Done. So now all I have to do is replace everything and I'm ready to go, and look how quickly I set up all those different spreads. You could set up 50 pages super easy using Masterpages. So I got a question from a couple of students, and they were the same question, so I wanted to make sure I addressed it. A lot of people with Masterpages, they wanted to put something not just in the background. Right now the master page that's being applied is all in the background, is kind of one unmovable object. So if I go down here where the master pages is applied, I can't move this or touch it. It's all in the master page, right? So I can't, only things I can move is the stuff on the layer. So they wanted to know, can I do a master page and put something on top instead of underneath in the background? And yes, you can. You can go up to master, and let's say for an example, I want to do a quick photo. So let me go back and get a photo real quick. Just going to copy this one for an example. I'm going to paste a photo. Let's say I want this photo to be on top instead of in the background. I want this to be on top of the layers, the active layers that I have, and not just as a flat background image. We're going to go, I'm in a master right now, and I'm in my layers panel. And so I'm going to uncollapse this layer. I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm just going to copy and paste, or really cut that photo and then paste it in this top layer. So I'm going to call this top, and go to edit and paste in place. So now you'll see I have this whole layer as one layer, and then I have this photo on top. So what it's going to do is it's going to apply the same thing to the master pages. So if I go down here, it's going to automatically update my master pages. So go down here. Now the photo is on top, but I also have elements on the background. But this is unmovable. That image is unmovable. So I had that question. People didn't want to have it just be background images. They wanted to put something on that overlays something they already have. So you could do layers, and those layers will carry over from your master pages that you create. Another cool thing is everything is dynamic. So we have the master pages set. We have A, B, all the way down. So if I want to go up and change colors, it's going to be super easy. So let's go to both of our masters. Let's delete that. And let's say we want to do a pink header. Not sure why would we ever do that, but let's just do it as an example. I'm going to go down here and do a pink header. So instead of going back and manually having to change 50 recipe pages, look at this. It's already automatically applied all the way across the book. And the same goes for any of the other elements. Let's say I want to change the badge. The badge can easily be changed to a different style, and I don't have to copy and paste it on every page. This is the reason why you use InDesign over Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. People all the time say, I don't have InDesign, I don't really see it being an important program. But if you're ever going to do multiple page documents, magazines, any kind of books or publications, any kind of digital PDFs that are multiple pages, this will save you the most time in the world. So please, please take advantage of Masterpages. You could do the same thing with headers of books. If you want to make it an entire chapter, have a certain header that's blue, and then the next chapter has green, you can set up as many Masterpages as you want. So there's Masterpages in action. I'm going to go ahead and do Command Z and go back in time because I don't want to have pink headers for my information. So let's say we want to export this. We're going to talk about exporting next. We're going to talk about exporting for print, but we're also going to talk about turning this into a digital PDF as well.